So I'm feeling hella intelligent. I am filled with real raw energy from our god Jaleel himself, and I'm here to welcome you all to the Real Raw Energy podcast. I'm kidding, that's not the name. It's actually the name. It's actually the podcast with a name that's way too long. I'm filled with real raw energy, and that's Logan. He'll probably ignore me, but I don't care because I got that real raw energy. That's what I thought. And
Ha, ha,
today's
ha, ha,
podcast,
ha.
facts. Anyway.
So it's late, and it's late. This is like a follow up. We got two tier lists for you, and I'm gonna time chase this time. So, um, what I watched recently, I just finished Mushoku Tensei. Pretty cool, good isekai,
Okay.
and
Impossible.
I've been rewatching ReZero. Haha, get it? ReZero, so funny.
Wow, I'm dying
And
of real raw energy.
that one shown in Yu Yu Hakusho, pretty fire.
Oh yeah, for real.
All right. You have
You
5
see your
minutes
movie.
to talk about Slam Dunk. Are you ready?
Oh yeah,
Do
I
you?
got that real raw energy powering me through. I'm about to spit bars.
All right. 3, 2,
Judges.
1, go.
Okay, so Slam Dunk is manga produced by Takeshi Inoue, and honestly, it's fire
Oh yeah.
for real. Like, it has like a sort of different like approach to shonen than most shonens I watch. Like, I wouldn't say it's like completely rare, but it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
It's where the protagonist is not the protagonist.
The protagonist is not interesting. Is that right?
I wouldn't say he's not interesting. He's definitely like a crucial like part of the show.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's not like carrying them or like doing anything like important or anything. He's just there to be the main character.
I see.
So let me just give you a rundown to like let you in on this. So basically, our main character is Hanamichi, and he is a red-haired sad romantic. Let's just say in middle school year, he became legendary by getting rejected by 50 girls. But in high school,
Bro.
he didn't want that anymore. So he saw this one girl, I forgot her name, but
I
actually
see.
no, I didn't. It's Haruko. And from that moment on, he simps hard.
I
And
see.
Haruko loves basketball. So he's just like,
Basketball.
well, since I am a genius, I might as well become a genius at basketball and make her love me.
And since you simp
that's-
hard for this show, you became a basketball player. Ah, I see how it is.
Yeah, for Haruko. But no. And basically, turns out he is not a genius because he is absolute doggy at the game. And that's where like the show takes off the most. Like, everyone around him is way better than him, but he still says he's the like a genius that
of
carries the
basketball.
game. Huh?
He still says he's the genius of basketball.
Yeah, he's the genius of basketball, but he really isn't. It's more like he learns how to play, because he's faced with hardships like anyone else does when starting basketball, like how to dribble, how to make a shot, like a layup, and like each moment that he actually does it is awarded. Like,
Sorry
it
to
feels like a
interrupt.
big accomplishment.
Sorry to interrupt, but nobody was watching, but forgot to turn the stream public, so we've been private the whole time.
Oh, that's chill. I'll still keep going.
Yeah, you know what? At this point,
It's
who
nothing
cares?
different. It's nothing different than what we're used to.
Yeah, exactly. This is just how these streams go.
Yeah.
You have 2 minutes left, by the way, so
That does not count to my time, bro.
fine. I'll pause it for like 5 seconds, but you do have like 2 minutes left.
Alright, but I'll probably finish up in less than that. But so basically, it's Hanamichi's journey in Slam Dunk is a learning journey, as I said. He practices hard. Like, it takes like
Oh yeah.
a lot of episodes for him to get the hang of it. It took a lot of episodes for him to even score a basket. In fact, if I were to like count the episodes out, I would say from when they actually started like playing actual games to when he got an actual point, I'd say there was like a 7 episode gap.
Wow.
Yeah, and he didn't, because all those times that he didn't, he got fouled out. Like in the first game, he got fouled out in the first, like, I want to say 10 minutes? And he kept doing that. And he kept trying to find answers. And the leader and the captain of the basketball team, I'll call him Gorilla because I don't remember his name. Actually, I do, it's Takagi, but I'll still call him Gorilla because that's his nickname. Basically says you just have to like adapt and learn the more you do it. And that's what happens. The more he's on defense, the better he gets at it. He doesn't learn things immediately. He learns like at an actual realistic pace.
He learns like a
He
normal
isn't like
person.
he's never instantly good at something. It takes time. And I really like that approach because we're also learning basketball as he's learning basketball. So it really brings like more interest to the game and like how to play it rather than just it being a power fantasy like Kuroko.
Yeah,
Not to
I was
say
gonna
that
say it
that's a
seems
bad
like the
thing.
opposite of the other basketball anime you like talking about.
No, they're complete opposites. There isn't like any like big gigantic like bro that's not possible moments. It's all like pretty realistic. Like every like all of them have faults.
So
And all of them like cover up for their faults.
yeah, it's more realistic than your average sports anime, you would say.
Yeah.
So to sum it up,
Pretty much, it's a learning journey.
yeah,
And if you ever wanted to get into basketball, I wouldn't say to watch it to like learn from it. I'd say watch it to review from what you know. Like
So-
it does teach you a lot, but remember, it's still anime.
yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously it.
But I'd say this is probably the closest thing you can get to actually learning about the sport.
Yeah. So and
If you're watching anime.
I understand that they're very different in their approach, but if you had to pick, which one do you prefer from the two basketball you've seen, animes you've seen?
That's a hard one because
They're very
both
different, right?
do really good at what they do. Like, Slam Dunk is known as the golden standard of shonen.
Oh yeah.
Like, it is like renowned for it. But Kuroko really does well in just animation and I wouldn't even say message, like backgrounds and stuff. Like, it is a power fantasy through and through. And I'm not into that stuff, but I really like Slam Dunk because I actually feel like these are characters. Like, these are real people that are, like, doing this stuff.
That's cool.
Like, these aren't some, like gods that I've been practicing ever since they
That
could, like,
developed JoJo
be
stands playing
conscious.
basketball.
Like, develop JoJo stand as they're, like, playing. Like, in Slam Dunk, I really feel, like, a connection and kinship with Hanamichi.
Yeah. I wonder
Because
why.
He's absolute trash.
Trash at everything.
He doesn't
Takes
know
time to
anything.
learn stuff. Not really that different of a special of a character. I wonder why you relate to him, Chase. I wonder why.
Shut up.
I'm just kidding, bro.
You're even worse. You're like one of his friends.
Damn, that hurts.
Yeah.
And I haven't even
You're
seen
one of
the
his
show.
friends that like just clowns on him.
No, I do it in a friendly manner. I don't know. Anyways,
That's
I let you go like 4 minutes over your 5 minute mark, so you're welcome. Are you
Alright,
ready to get
then.
into the tier list?
Oh, just closing thoughts.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So overall, Slam Dunk is a realistic anime in its art, in its characters, and in what it does. And I 100% get why it's called the golden standard of shonen.
Yes.
Because it's really something that, like, if you're like an inspiring writer or any of that, you should look at how the plot progression goes in Slam Dunk. Because it's truly great how Takashi Inoue wrote this story. Down to its like art, to its character arcs, to its feats. because in hindsight, it's not that amazing to make a layup, but on the way he wrote it with Hanamichi and all the failed attempts and all the practice, all the blood, sweat, and tears
It has a
he
really good
took to
payoff,
make
right?
that layup, it felt like such a great feat, even though it was just a layup.
Yeah. So it's like a good
And
payoff.
that kind of build up is masterful. And
Yeah, dude.
yeah, it's quite amazing how Takashi like wrote this story. And I'd love to collect all the manga for it, but it is
Pricey.
no, it's not pricey per se. It's more
Hard to get.
it's not hard to get either. I can get like the first volume for $10 at Barnes and Noble.
Oh,
It's
cool.
just that there's a lot.
Yeah, and your shelf is starting to run out of space.
Yeah. By the way, I got like a bunch of books, and I'm so close to finishing Chainsaw Man. Like I'm 3 volumes away from finishing it off.
Let's go, dude. You got this. Just you got to get it, and then you got the full series.
Yeah, and that's only like $30. So like, Logan, you were asking what I wanted for my birthday.
Bro. I don't know what volumes you still need. I forgot. 9?
Yeah, like 9, 11, and 6.
I see.
Well, by the way, I turned 17 yesterday, so
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Oh, I was on the fence.
Don't act like anybody is watching.
I don't know who will be watching in the future.
You right. Hey, you like this Geo dude?
Oh yeah.
All
He
right.
has real raw energy.
So let's pick up where we left off. Why don't we?
All right, time to for like 2 almost grown adult men scream about teenagers in animated shorts.
We're not grown men. We're like high schoolers. We're not.
I'm an adult in Texas. Shut up.
Yeah, but we don't live in Texas.
That's right. We live in Antarctica.
Exactly. And we became adults at the age of 4.
For real. I'm chugging like 30 beers right now.
So I'm using Chase's words here. Basically, this tier list, S or F. We have to pick one, and S is going to be like kind of hard to get into. So, honestly, all of the shows here, I mean, I would say all the shows down here are still pretty good. You know, some of them are actually really good in my opinion. But
I had to swallow my pride a bunch for JoJo.
And I had to swallow my pride a bunch for Quintessential, and also for.
That's a you switched up on Quintessential.
And Parasite, I had to swallow my pride for too.
That's very good.
All right, To Your Eternity.
Yeah, it kind of lost me on like the 8th episode.
I think it's an easy S tier.
It's to me.
That's not a very good argument.
Well, yeah, but like I could only watch to 8 before I got bored and try to like find something else.
I think just the fact that the first episode really hits hard. Like, do you remember the first episode?
Like, hits hard. Yeah, the first episode hits hard, but like it has to keep that momentum.
And I think it does. I think
Yeah.
it has like a new arc every few episodes and a new experience for Fushi, and I think it's really good. Like I really liked it.
I mean, sure, but like, still, like it's anime. Like, that's just my personal taste. So
I don't know. I'm having a hard time even thinking of what to say. Are we both too dead for this?
I'm not dead. I have real raw energy, bro.
All right, I guess I can agree on F since I can't really think of a way to defend myself. But I just think that the show presents itself in a really fun way, and it's like, dude, why can't I think of anything? Yeah, I guess never mind.
Yeah. Damn, I put him in a corner.
This next one though,
Funny.
you can't even argue. Odd Taxi definitely deserves up here.
Never watched it.
Yeah, you haven't seen it. It's basically a bunch of like characters that are kind of followed throughout, and they all have some seemingly unconnected storylines, right? That as the story progresses and the episodes go on, they slowly begin to weave together into like an overarching narrative, and then the plot twist at the end, not necessarily plot, but like the last episode is really like one of my favorite endings to any anime.
Sick. I think you'd like Durarara if you like that.
Yeah, you have
Like,
said that.
Durarara is like a master at
So are we agreeing on the S tier then?
that. I mean, sure.
You haven't seen it, so. All
I
right,
haven't seen it,
Love
so I don't really have
Chinibyu.
an opinion. Well, first season was amazing, but the second season really drug it down.
I like Love Chinibyu a lot. I think it's a cute show, but I don't
Yeah,
think
but
it.
like
I don't.
season two.
If we're doing season 2, I'm not a big fan of, and also in comparison, I still think it's pretty good. But
Yeah,
I think if we're
but
doing
season
that,
two.
you were talking last time when you didn't sound like you were about to die. Sorry, you seriously sound like so high right now. At least on my
Yeah.
end, your mic.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think it's
But I
down here.
don't do drugs.
Yeah, don't do drugs. Don't be like Chase.
I'm not on drugs. I just always sound like I am.
Angel Beats. I'll swallow my pride.
Good.
It's a
Yeah.
good show. I think I really like it. I like the characters. I like I like the world that they're in. It's kind of like an isekai, but it's very different from your average isekai. So I don't really think it
Oh
counts.
yeah. It's definitely an isekai.
I would say it's more like a
You know, we had
fantasy.
this argument like a couple episodes ago.
Well, it was a while ago.
Yeah, so like we don't need to bring it up. We both agreed that it was an isekai and a slice of life.
Yeah. But again, if we're going by the harsh standards that you apparently set last episode, I'm holding you to them.
Yep.
It's unfortunately not S tier. I can recognize that.
Yep. Anyways, Konosuba should belong in the thing. I won't fight you.
I do not think it even. Oh wait, I didn't mean to grab that. Where even is it? It doesn't deserve it. I'm sorry.
And
You can
let's
call
just
me
say,
you can call me unfun, but it's the show that spawned all these isekais trying to be funny that fail.
right, but it didn't fail. So fight you.
I mean, voice acting is really good, of course. It's a funny show,
Right.
but I don't know. I just got bored of it, and I don't know. It just something about it put me off. I'm sorry.
That's right.
You're
Anyways,
not
the
trying to
next one's-
argue.
Well, yeah, I know it's a trashy isekai. It's not supposed to be an S tier show, but like it's supposed to be like a nice show to watch.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is the next one's gonna be a hard decision.
Oh yeah, I
Yes,
wonder what this show. I'm not a
Yeah,
fan
no.
of. I'm not a fan of this
Like,
show.
Yeah, so like I'm saying it's a hard decision whether it's gonna be F or Ratio. Because there's also Sword Art Online on this list too.
I don't think it's a horrible love kind of romance show, but I think the characters are kind of predictable after a while. Like they have a gimmick that being into science, right? And just their interactions get predictable after a while. And sure, they have different experiments, but I was like, yeah, it's all right. Like if you like it, that's completely fair. And then I watched season 2, and I
Right.
don't know what happened. Like it was just really hard to watch. It was
Yeah.
a little bit cringe and like just kind of like there wasn't really anything to it in my opinion. Have you seen it? I forgot if you've seen
I
Science
have
Film.
not seen it.
Okay, it's an F tier for me easily. I mean, again, it doesn't have to be bad to be in this tier, but I actually like if we were doing a normal tier list, it would probably be like C or D tier in my opinion.
Right.
Probably D tier, honestly.
Yeah. Next
All
one,
right,
we have
Kaguya-sama.
North Star.
This one is
We already
actually.
know where it's going.
I mean, I think
We
it's an
already
S.
know where it's going.
I think it's an S tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We already know where it's going.
You can. I'll let you explain.
I don't think I even need to explain it. Like, if you've seen it, you know.
That's the definition of a toxic fan right there.
Like, no, but I don't think there could be even one hater of this show. Like, if there is, like, props to you, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. Kaguya-sama,
So, like,
right?
this- Like, this is such, like, an enjoyable, like, wholesome show. And, like, it's also like its character schemes, like their character schemes, are pretty enjoyable to watch. Like it put like a fun spin on the romance side of anime,
Oh yeah,
while also like being a great slice of life at the same time too. And also Ishigami.
dude, the Ishigami backstory though,
The Ishigami arc was amazing. Like one of my
and
favorite
the
arcs of
manga's
all
even
time.
better in my opinion. So I think this series definitely deserves S tier in this tier list.
Yeah, in fact,
It's really good.
The Ishigami arc is so good that the author had to bring it back again for like
Yeah.
a part 3.
Dude, I'm really excited for that. I gotta get there in the
Yeah.
manga. So yeah,
Beastars.
Beastars. I think Beastars is a good contender for S here.
Yeah, but
Very
like,
unique, and
do you really think it gets over the barrier?
I don't know. It's a cool combination of like slice
a
of
cool
life, and also
combination.
like it's almost like a shonen in a way as well.
Well, yeah, it's a Shonen Jump. It's a Shonen Jump series, but
I
it's
think it
also
could
like
deserve
a
S tier.
great way of like social commentary. That's what people say to defend it. I don't know, but basically,
I want to hear your
like,
opinion
there's
here,
social
Chase, not everyone else's.
yeah, but like
I'm
I
just
guess the
kidding.
social commentary thing that people get at is like predators and prey, like how like that social demographic just kind of separates them when they're all just like trying to coexist. I mean, I guess that's a racism.
It's like an analogy for racism, basically.
It's a racism.
I think it could deserve
I mean,
S.
no, wait, hold on. It actually is racism because
They're literally different species.
they're different species, they're different race.
Yeah. I think it's a really unique show, and I think the murder mystery aspect is cool. I think the kind of how they integrate like a slice of life thing, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a bit since I've seen it, but I think it could deserve S tier here. Like, why don't you think it would make it over the barrier for you?
It's because I've read and like it's interesting later on. Like some really interesting stuff happens later on.
That's not a bad thing.
It's not, but like
You're
it
not sure how
also
you feel
lost
about
me.
it?
No, but it also lost me because like the murderer gets revealed pretty early on, like not early on, but like in the halfway point or like the 3/4 point of the manga.
So you don't know where the rest of it is going, or?
No, I do because I read ahead of it.
No, that's
It's
what I
just,
mean,
they're
like-
adding like so many more things to it. That's just like interesting.
Well, I mean, we're more talking about the anime here, right?
Right.
What do you
I
think?
mean, I don't really remember much of season 2. What happened? in
I'm gonna
season
be honest. I don't remember much of season 2 either.
Oh,
I
wait, hold
remember
on.
season
2? I
1.
think season 2 is the part where like the murderer was revealed.
Well, yeah. The murderer was revealed, and they had that arc with Louis. That was his name.
Yeah,
His
Louis
kind of
was
like
the last.
reaction to all the pressure and him like crumbling and joining like the Yakuza like gang or whatever.
No, that's season 1.
No, it
Season
was.
2 is like, yeah. Season 2 is like more into it. And, like,
Yeah,
him
well,
trying
yeah.
to leave.
All right, I think we got to make a decision here.
I don't think it gets over the barrier for me.
All right.
Like I put this show in like A.
Oh yeah, I would too. It's a good show. Wait, so
Yeah.
basically what we're doing here is we're just putting shows we already have in S tier and S tier.
Yeah, exactly.
That's lame.
All right.
Violet Evergarden. Personally,
I
I
know you're the biggest fanboy, so go ahead.
I really like this show. I'm gonna be honest, I cried a lot watching it. But over the as I've had time to reflect on it, I think it's a little bit forced, if that makes sense. Like I feel like the emotion feels a little bit forced. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I think the reason for that is I think a lot of people say this, but I think Violet is just not that interesting of a character.
That's fair.
Yeah, like
I have that vibe.
her backstory is really interesting, but as she is in the show, she's kind of just like a lifeless but she also
But
like
that's the point.
Yeah, and that's the point, and it's done really well. But she still like has emotions, so I don't know. I think
It's
I think it's a really
I
good
mean that's
show.
also the point as well. Like the story is like about a like sort of like a doll figure because that's how she was like bought off of the commander. She was bought
Yeah,
as a doll.
yeah. I mean,
She was bought to be lifeless and
it's kind of
emotionless.
about her finding her
And how
past.
she
Yeah,
gained emotions is through her interactions with others.
yeah,
So
like her
she's slowly
interactions. Yeah,
becoming human. Like a weird Pinocchio story, if anything.
it's cool. I think it probably doesn't get over the S tier barrier for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, you've seen it, right?
Yeah, that's the same for me.
Okay.
But it's really good. I like it.
Takagi-san.
Never watched it. Go
Very
ahead.
cute show. That's basically all I have to say about it.
That's fair.
It's a very cute show.
It's
I
just
think,
two kids.
yeah, it's a cute show. I think, honestly, if we want to make this a little bit more interesting, we could put it in S tier because it does what it sets out to do very well. Like, it really doesn't have, there's nothing wrong with it. It has, like, it sets out what it means to do really well, and it has a cool
Yeah.
conclusion. There's a
But
movie
doesn't
coming out
just
soon.
like scream like I'm gonna be one of your favorites.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
'cause,
I
let's
feel
look at
like
all the S tiers. Every single one of these scream, I'm gonna be your favorite.
yeah.
Like I'm gonna be
Wait,
on
wait, wait, wait,
someone's
wait, wait, wait,
top
wait.
10.
When did this get in the S tier? What?
That's that's for me. That's for me.
Oh, did you convince me it was an S tier somehow? Okay.
Yep.
Um.
With my professional convincing skills.
All right. I really like Takagi-san, but I think we'll put it here.
That's fair.
Pokemon. Do we really say where this goes?
Dub was really funny. Otherwise,
Yeah.
put it on F.
Yeah.
Psyche K, you are an interesting case.
I really like
Okay.
Psyche K.
The only thing that holds it down. No, I know that's also part of the charm too, because I was about to say
what were you gonna say?
really, really fast, like subbing pace.
Yeah, but that's the point. Like
Like
that adds
yeah,
to the
that is
comedy,
point,
dude.
But like, imagine if like you're really slow.
That
you can't read.
that is your problem.
Yeah.
Also,
like,
there's something called watching
I
the
guess-
dub, which is equally, if not more, funny. Honestly,
Yeah, the dub is really good.
it's a really good dub. The only
It's
issue is
also
that they
not
only
that
dubbed
good.
season 1. The other 2 seasons don't have a dub.
Oh really? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. I was able to keep up with it all right. I
Yeah.
think that, you know what,
Oh,
Jace,
it's
we have a lack of
reasonable.
we have some banger shows in S tier, but we have a lack of comedy. I think we got to put a comedy show in S tier.
Then let's wait a couple, because I'm pretty sure there's a comedy one coming. Let me just.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh,
I think it deserves it, honestly.
Yeah, I heard that.
I think it deserves it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a, and it also, I love how self-aware it is. Like, they constantly make references to the manga and the anime, like.
Like it's a good comedy, yeah. Sure.
All right. Initial D, take it away.
S.
Why?
S. Because it's freaking initial D, like, dog.
Okay.
Like, I can give you like a 20-minute explanation.
I would ask you to
or
elaborate, but I
something.
kind of, honestly, I'm starting to get ready to move on to this tier list, so I feel like this one will be a lot
Alright.
more interesting.
Yeah.
All right,
In
GTO.
GTO, it's in my top 5.
Yeah, I think GTO deserves S. It's really well made.
Yeah. This one I can explain shorter. Basically, GTO has pretty much this almost the exact same approach as Slam Dunk in the weirdest way possible.
As in it's just like some normal situation, sort of like normal.
Yeah,
It's like a
like-
guy. It's like a normal guy who makes mistakes like everyone else. I mean, Onizuka's not perfect.
Let me just- yeah, like, let's just take Hanamichi, but reverse it. He's Onizuka as he is. He's not perfect. He's an awful teacher when it comes to education, but he teaches his kids how to live. Because when he comes there, they're all like demons. like
More or less,
awful, and which is perfectly fitting for him because he's also awful. Like he was like an ex Yakuza gang leader, well not Yakuza, like gang leader.
yeah.
Caused a lot of trouble. He's a thug, and but through his life experiences, he can help like bring his students into a better life through his weird, wacky Onizuka way.
And it kind of works.
Yeah, it doesn't kind of it does work.
It does
Like,
work.
after a while, and all you can just say is like, oh yeah, that's just Onizuka. Like,
So you just kind of like how he sticks to like he's one of the characters who like it almost makes sense that he doesn't really have any character development.
yeah, he doesn't need it.
He
It's
sticks to
more-
his morals.
Yeah, he might be the main character, but really his focus is his students. Like, even though like it sort of like focuses on him because like it's the teacher,
Yeah.
but every lesson that he teaches his kids, he can also teach to you. This is the type of story that will never let you fully be in the fantasy. Like, but let me explain this. Basically, through my watchings of anime was like an escape from reality.
Damn, that's
Like-
dark.
No, it's not. Like, it's just something more. Like, something exciting, something fun, something that can distract me from my own life,
I see.
which I thought was boring. But when I watched GTO, it didn't let me fully get into the fantasy. It let me feel real about life.
Isn't that called a slice of life?
No. Because, like, you can be, like, happy for the characters and, like, their wacky scenarios, but in GTO, he teaches you how to live your life. Like, not, like, in, like, full philosophy, but rather how to go out and live your life. How to stick to your own morals and to your reality. And
Yeah.
live the best possible life you can live. To
I
be
think that's a fair
free.
assumption.
And that's what I love about GTO. Because it teaches you how to stick to your morals.
Yeah, actually,
Stick
I don't
to
know
your
why I called that
principles
an assumption
and
since
stick-
you've seen the show.
And just stick to yourself. Because yourself is just perfect as the way it is. You don't need to aspire to be like all these characters. You should aspire to be you.
You're gonna get me to start tearing up, Jays.
Thank you.
That was a beautiful speech.
That
So
was-
yeah,
That's what GTO taught me.
And at the end of
that's
the
why
day, all of
it's
that-
in my top 3.
yeah, and that's why it's S tier for you. Fair enough. Anyways, we never learn. I don't care what you say. Quintessential quintuplets is an F. We're putting this right next to it.
That's fine.
I love quintessential quintuplets, but I agreed that it wasn't in the S. We Never Learn is the same damn show, except worse, in my opinion, but we won't get into that argument.
Mm-hmm.
So, we good?
Yeah.
Oh, the next
What's
one.
that? What's
Fireworks. I think
that? I never watched it.
I've told you about it.
Yeah, you said you didn't like it.
I didn't like it. Basically, it feels like they tried to do it came out a year after A Silent Voice. And I don't want to go as far as to say like they tried copying A Silent Voice, but I don't understand why this film is on Netflix. It's confusing. It's really not that well made. It feels like a Western Japanese it feels like Western. Like, I don't know how to describe it. And that's not a bad thing per se, but like the story really doesn't make any sense. And it's just really not like just go watch A Silent Voice. I don't care how toxic I sound.
Yeah.
It would be F.
Go watch this one.
I don't know if I'd go as far as to say it's F tier. I'd probably put it in D tier on a normal tier list.
Right.
Something I would put in F tier on a normal tier list though is this boring ass isekai.
For real.
Yeah.
Maybe a consider for ratio.
Let's do like a back and forth here, Chase. We'll say what we don't like about Sword Art Online. I'll start generic.
Season 2.
Season 3.
Season 3 wasn't terrible.
I didn't watch season 3, so I'm just being toxic at this point.
Season 2, if you've seen SAO, you know what I mean. That's all I'm gonna leave it at. And yes, one day I will try it. Alicization,
Yeah, that actually looks pretty good.
but I'm right now still started by season 2. So next.
All right, Nichijou. Nichijou's great.
I haven't watched it fully though.
Yeah, you only have seen like one episode.
Yeah. So give me a sec on that. Gosh.
I like Nichijou a lot. I think it's a cute, funny show.
Yeah.
And I think it really pays attention to detail. Like it's kind of you'll notice a lot of background things. Like my friend showed me, he's a big fan of the show. Like after you watch it a lot, that kind of tie together. Even though it's kind of just a bunch of short like stories that with the same characters.
Right.
I hope they make a season 2. I hear the anime or the manga started up again. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd say
Yeah,
it's
but
S tier though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Death Note. This one might be interesting. I don't think Death Note's S tier.
Yeah, that's fair. 'Cause
I honestly think it gets boring.
It would be like 100% S tier top of the list if the second half didn't appear.
Not even half. Like the last like 15 to 20 episodes.
Like after like L.
Yeah, like if L, I think if L figured out, like if L figured out Light and was alive to say it, I think that would have been a good ending.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that like
the second half was necessary.
Yeah, like I'm not saying it's bad or anything. I just personally wasn't that interested in it.
That's fair.
And I think I don't know. It's oh okay, we're moving on.
We already discussed it. Like all it needs is just the second half was okay but necessary.
Dr. Stone. I like Dr. Stone a lot. I think I would not be opposed to putting it in S.
Yeah, but it doesn't really cross it for me. Like,
it's not like a show that strikes me as like incredible. It's really not that like emotionally impactful or anything. It's just a really fun shonen with dope characters and a clear objective. And I do like how they kind of get into like season 1, they've kind of like built this technology up, but then season 2 they use it in like the main fight. Like it's one of the few shonens I feel like where like the main fight doesn't even come until like after the first season. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What do you think?
Personally, it doesn't really cross over the S barrier for me.
I don't think it does quite for me either.
Yeah, it's a really good show, and it's really a shonen because they're building telephones out of tree.
True. All right, Assassination Classroom. I like it, but I don't think it's S. That's kind of all I have to say.
Like
it's cool. I do think it's a little bit confusing. Like I feel like the character interactions are kind of weird. Like, am I the only one who thinks that? I don't know why.
But like, I like it.
It kind of to me feels like one of those like pseudo intellectual animes where like they're trying to be smart, but they're more just appealing to like middle schoolers.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to be toxic. It's still a good show. I would probably put it in B tier on my list.
Right.
But I wouldn't quite say it's S tier for me.
Yeah. Haikyuu.
I'll let you. I haven't seen it, so I'll let you go.
This is hard.
I do know that it's kind of a like. I do know that you have like fairly good things to say about it, but like.
No, I have a lot of good things to say about it.
Yeah.
Season 3 as a whole is like S tier. Like S tier.
Oh, nice.
But maybe this is just for me watching like a ton more. But it just kind of feels like a watered down slam dunk.
Dang.
Not to like take anything away from it, like it's a really good show, and I hear that like no manga, it's way more insane because it actually explores outside of high school and where his like volleyball passion takes him. Yeah, I really really like that.
Oh, that's cool. It's not just confined to like high school.
Yeah, it's not like confined. Like, it's not just his first year. It's also his like semi-adult life, and like his journeys to like take on more challenges to get more and more better at this sport that he's obsessed with.
I see.
And I really like that, and I really enjoy that. So yeah, I put it in S.
All right, fair enough. I haven't seen it, so I can't really debate. Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer does
I've-
not push over the S tier.
What?
It does not push over the S tier for me. It's a B or C rated show for me.
I mean, I've only seen like 7 or 8 episodes, and I thought it was cool. Like the animation was cool, but I thought the story was kind of bland.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's not my kind of show, so I don't really feel like I'm qualified to talk about it. But if you don't think it's S tier, then I don't think it is either.
Alright. Gurren Lagann, I will say S.
Oh yeah, I haven't even finished it. Like I need to get back into it. I'm agreeing with you just because of how like hype it is. Like this is the show this is the show you need to watch after this if you don't feel like sleeping.
Yes. Also, I'm gonna talk about this, but right after I talk about it, actually before I talk about Gurren Lagann, I think I should talk about Neon Genesis first. So I'm skipping ahead a couple.
Where
I
is
think because in order to talk about Neon Genesis, I have to talk about her. And in order to talk about Gurren, I have to talk about Neon first.
Okay.
Neon Genesis is an SK show.
Yeah, I figured you were
Its
gonna say that.
introspectives is really great. It shows like the most like ugly side of humanity, if that's makes sense. It shows
Well,
all,
like,
the
I mean, the main
downfalls
character's not
of-
exactly like the most likable, so
Well, yeah, but like that's also on purpose.
yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
It's more
like, yeah,
just like showing the ugly sides of human relation. And
pretty much every role.
in like sort of like the exploration of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like almost every
Like, at the
relationship I feel like almost every relationship in Evangelion could be classified as toxic.
No, it is.
Yeah,
100%
like-
it is. There's no debate, no anything.
I don't even.
And it
think...
basically
Oh yeah,
just
sorry.
shows
Go
like,
ahead.
the
Go
ugly
ahead.
side of human relation and explores the hedgehog dilemma throughout the whole show. The hedgehog dilemma is where you want to get closer to someone, but the closer you get, the more it hurts to get closer. And us humans want to stay away from getting hurt, so we distance ourselves further. And that's where the dilemma happens. Because we want to get closer, but because of the pain that happens with it, we get further away from them.
Huh.
So, and that'll always be a dilemma, no matter what relationship you're in. The closer you get, the more and more it hurts.
I mean, what
be
characters are an
relationship.
example of that though?
Let's just say Shinji and Asuka.
I mean,
That
I
is
guess
like
so.
the
Yeah.
perfect that is the perfect like hedgehog dilemma, other than Misato and the other dude.
That guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that one chat dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk about Shinji and Asuka first because that is the most important hedgehog dilemma. And it's shown perfectly because throughout the story they have gone really close. Like they have bonded really, really close. But the more and more he looks into the relationship, the more and more he's unsure that this relation is like true or anything. Like if he loves her, or he's just looking for someone to accept him, someone to see him, and he doesn't really like care about the other side, Asuka. And Asuka is pretty much wanting to always be accepted by people.
I mean, yeah, you can clearly see that by her personality.
Yeah. And that's why they gotten so close. But they realize how shallow each other are, and that distances themselves further to the point where Asuka falls into a deep depression after like getting absolutely wrecked. And then just Shinji looking into himself and realizing that he doesn't want to be near people, but he also wants the acceptance of people, so he pushes himself to please people, but he's also not satisfied with that. And that's the dilemma that he finds within himself. that he's ugly, that he's shallow, he's all of these negative things,
Yeah.
and he doesn't want to exist. But at the same time, he wants to be out there. He wants to be accepted. He wants to be close.
Is this your interpretation of the last episode?
Pretty much.
Okay, because I didn't know what was going on, but I thought it was really cool. I know with Evangelion, a lot of people like to get into like the technicalities and sound like smart and whatever, but I just think it's a really cool, interesting show that screws with your mind in a really interesting way, and that's like the point. Yeah. And I do agree that it like, I think at the end where everyone's clapping for Shinji, it's just kind of him finally accepting himself. Like,
yeah, no, it's him realizing that everyone else has problems.
Yeah, it's not just him.
He's fighting those problems every day.
Yeah, I think it definitely deserves
everyone else wants to get close, but everyone else feels pain. He should just accept that pain that comes with living in order to get closer to people, no matter like how it hurts, because pain is existence. So you should accept existence for how it is, rather than just trying to reject it and not want to exist in the first place.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So why does really, how does that tie in with Gurren Lagann?
Because Gurren Lagann is a purposeful opposite of Evangelion. And fun fact real quick, both Neon Genesis and Gurren Lagann are made by the same studio, Gainax.
Oh, that's really cool.
And in the creation of Gurren Lagann, there has been like several like references in interviews on where they want to make it the complete opposite of Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I see. Like even in the manga.
Wow, Neon Genesis shows the ugliness of human relationship and sexuality and all that stuff. Gurren Lagann shows how great it is to like have relationships, to show your sexuality, to show every part of you, to accept yourself from how you are and what you want to do. And yes, Logan, I know you were confused on why I brought up sexuality. Let me tell you about it real quick.
Okay.
But first, let me just define sexuality for you real quick.
So my God, we're getting into this now.
It's just fucking. No, it's not.
No, I don't agree. I don't think that. I just you saying the phrase, "Let me define sexuality," it was funny.
Yeah, I know.
Chase is very high right now.
Sexuality is like the term of like showing like love, for instance, and like showing like yourself.
I get what you mean.
This can be as easy as like being shirtless, per se. Like it shows yourself, shows that you're proud of yourself, shows you that like you're proud to be how you are. But in Neon Genesis, they show the most awkward parts of sexuality, like the bad parts. Like let's bring up Misato and the other dude, and their toxic relation, sexuality.
Especially at first. Time,
like even this is shown in even the first time they kiss, like on camera, it is uncomfortable. He's grabbing her and like semi forcing himself upon her. It shows the awkwardness of that, and it shows like, oh, it's bad, ew, no. But if we look at Kamina and Yoko's first kiss, it's grand. It's like not awkward.
It has like romanticism qualities from like, you know, like that art movement quality. Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and it shows that the relationships are positive rather than it being just awkward. Because in Gurren Lagann, the relationships are accepted within each other, and that it shows that it's okay. It's not awkward. It's perfectly normal and relaxed. While in Neon Genesis, they show it as immoral, unnatural, awkward, just all the ugly parts of it.
So basically, they're like basically the point of what you're saying is that they're both mechas with their
Yeah.
own goals, but Gurren Lagann is glass half full, and Evangelion is glass half empty.
Yeah. Both right.
Yeah.
I haven't even started at their protagonist because I'm not ending on the sexuality speech.
That is fair. That is, I can't argue with you there. I wouldn't want you to.
Let's just look at the protagonists themselves. And I'm going to tell you what separates them completely. And that is the one thing that makes them completely different from each other is Kamina. Kamina is the only reason why Simone
Was able to kind of.
was able to be the way he is today.
Yeah.
And if Kamina was with Shinji, his life could have been completely flipped around and changed. I am almost certain of it.
Huh.
Because, let me tell you about it. So let's just, since I started with Evangelion first, I'm going to start with Gurren Lagann on this one. So basically, in the start, like, he was like semi-unmotivated, well, no, scared to try anything.
Well, yeah.
Like, he's scared to, like, talk to these people, leave all that. But Kamina chooses to go headfirst to every situation. He chooses that talking to people and, like, trying these things is better than to do nothing at all or to avoid it. And to rather not believe in himself at all. He chooses to believe in others, to believe in himself. Which, by the way, is a complete contrast to the hedgehog theory that basically is Evangelion itself. Because, as I was saying, in Evangelion, the closer you are to people, the more it hurts, right?
But
in Kamina's mindset, completely throws that concept away.
Yeah, it's like relying on people.
If anything, he understands that happens. And it's perfectly showcased when Kamina dies. By the spoilers, Kamina dies. That the relationships he built were positive. It did hurt when he died. But his message and his ideologies stayed with him forever, basically. And showed that even if it hurts, you gotta keep moving. You can't just run away. You have to keep moving. The heavens.
I see.
Yeah. And if it wasn't Kamina for pushing Simon to just keep going, to just push him towards new directions and not letting him just run away because it's hard or because it's uncomfortable or scary.
I don't think he would have ever gotten motivated.
Would have turned out like Shinji.
I just don't think he ever would have gotten motivated,
Yeah. Because let's just say, instead of Kamina and Gurren Lagann, it was Miss Misada. She didn't really push Shinji to do anything. If anything, she just kind of yelled at Shinji for everything and just pretty much did, you won't do it when, Shinji said he'll run away. She was just like, okay, do it.
Yeah.
She didn't push him to, be better or to better himself or to not run away. She just let his negativity run wild and let his guilt sink in.
And then...
But Kamina...
Yeah.
But Kamina didn't never let that happen. He never let him run away. Not because of guilt, but to push him forward.
Yeah, and then whereas in Evangelion, the people Shinji surrounds himself with are more almost guilt-tripping him, especially I think with Akusa, because their whole relationship is basically it's like you described before at least, they really just see through each other, and it's not genuine like Kamina is with Simone.
Yeah.
We're getting way off track here. Point is, they're both S-tier shows for different reasons.
Hey, I wasn't done.
Well, I don't care because you're probably going to talk for 30 more minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, and as I was saying, You know, now you lost me. Now I was right on my point, and then you're just like, oh, we're done, and I forgot
I'm
it.
sorry, Chase.
I blame you for not being letting me be interesting.
Was your point any? If you forgot it that fast, it wasn't that good of a point. I'm gonna be honest.
No, it was. It was amazing.
I
Every
agree
time
with
it was
you.
amazing.
But yeah, it is interesting how Gurren Lagann was like designed to be the opposite of Evangelion. I didn't
Yeah,
know
it
that.
wasn't directly designed
I mean, yeah,
on how
yeah.
they say, but like it pretty much is.
Uh-huh.
Like it shows like the positivity of human relationship, and if anything, the thing that I personally think is funny is that the anti-spiral is the exact message of Evangelion. And I know you don't know what the anti-spiral is. The anti-spiral is just basically like the god of negativity, and the whole reason why humans were underground in the first place, because he didn't want humans to like keep going. He wanted their willpower to like stop, because spiral energy is willpower. He wants to stop that willpower because he thinks it can like destroy others.
Are we even gonna have time for this tier list?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm intelligent.
Dude, I'm popping off. We're both popping off. All right, let's
Yeah.
do a speed round for the rest of these. Madoka Magica. I think you can make the argument that it's S.
Yeah.
It really good animation, very unique, and I love how on the surface it seems so innocent.
Yeah.
And then it kills you.
Just floats around. And...
I think Toradora is also S. It is just such a it makes you care about the characters in a way that I don't know any other slice of life did. Like when I finished Toradora, Chase, listen to me, okay? Actually listen to me. When I finished Toradora, I had like this pit in my stomach and I couldn't get rid of it for like a day or two. I was so sad that it ended. And apparently a lot of other people feel this way about that show because it's not like a lot of slice of life where like, you know, the characters finally get together and, you know, they were kind of hinted at it the whole time. No, these characters were not. They were kind of Taiga and Ryuji were only friends because they had benefits. Like Ryuji kind of helped Taiga out, and also they were in love with each other's best friends, so they kind of made sense for them to hang out. But as the story progresses, that changes, and you care about these characters a lot more. And then I could talk for a while, but basically, you know how like, remember the episode where they're all like in the classroom and all of their like charades kind of drop, and they all kind of realize that they're all kind of putting on an act, and then like Taiga runs out of the room. And Minorin goes to Ryuji like, you need to follow her. Like, remember that?
Right.
You do? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, they do that. And then, like, a couple episodes later, they kiss each other or whatever. But then it's just over. Like, that's it. What other slice of life just does that? Like, leaves you hanging like that?
Mm-hmm.
You don't think it's S tier?
I mean,
I think it's S tier personally.
Sure.
You're not very convincing.
But like, I'm not for a big S tier, I guess. Passion is passion.
Good enough for me. I tried, okay?
Yeah. I think we could both agree.
No.
Hero does not cross.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but nah.
Yeah,
I don't think Jujutsu Kaisen is either.
Best revenge stories.
I don't think Jujutsu Kaisen is either.
That's fair.
Okay. Platinum End? No.
That's fair also.
If I think it's weaker than Death Note, and if we have Death Note here, I think it's F tier. It's a good show, but I think it kind of loses me towards the end.
That's fair.
Much like Death Note. I think it has a better ending than Death Note, like a better last episodes, but I don't know. What even is this?
What's the next one?
I don't know.
Come on, scroll up on
Wait, what even... Is this Girls in Panzer Chase?
it. Wait, it is Girls in Panzer.
That's what this is? Alright, I think we know where this is going.
It should go in Thing 1. That's just my argument.
Yeah. Alright. Rent a Girlfriend is easy F.
Yeah.
It's not a good show. I kind of humored you for a bit, and then I like woke up and realized it's not good.
Dang.
Maybe I'll talk about this later when we get to this, but the characters are like just not well written, and they're like not likable at all, which can be fine, but not in the context of this story.
Yeah.
Words bubble up like soda pop. I think it's a decent movie, but I don't think it's not even close.
That's fine. Yeah.
Are you ready to get to MCs, or are you just dead?
Oh, I'm ready for MCs. I'm actually doing just great.
Let's
right
go,
now.
dude. All right. Sundar Zuri children, very cute. I don't think it's S tier.
That's fair.
Snafu, very in depth. Like it's probably one of the more thoughtful romance animes, but I don't think it's S tier.
Yeah.
Tonakawa, very cute, adorable. Don't think it's S tier. Your Lie in April, I do think is S tier. Do I need to explain why?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think I need to, and I don't think I need to explain why Attack on Titan is as well.
Yeah.
All right, so.
All right. Which one's gonna be the real fave and which one's gonna be
Yeah,
ratio?
we'll put this on here. Who? So I think we agree. It has to be like, for fave, it has to be when we both would say like, yeah, that's our fave. And you know what? I don't think it's changed. Like, it's probably still this, Jay.
Yeah.
Silent Voice is just so good.
And,
Ratioed?
Storyline.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a
Yeah.
good ratioed. All right, here's our list.
Yeah.
That was fun. Good job, Chase.
Thank you.
Love
I'd
you.
say that I was popping off with the speeches. I
Yeah.
made so many people inspired.
Do I annoy you when you're doing your speeches?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, you're terrible.
That hurts.
And
It hurts.
that's a lie.
All right. So, for anime MCs,
MCs.
yeah, again, best we have to agree on at the end. And basically, for this, it's not really like, we're not, at least the way I'm rating them is just kind of how much I like them. Like, that's basically it. And I can take, like, how well written their characters and all that, but, like, most characters are pretty well written for their shows. So at the end of the day, I'm mainly just talking about how much I like them.
Yes, so I'm just
Luffy.
going to go over my standards for him. I'm going to go over likability and importance and feats. So yeah.
All right, take it away, because I've not seen One Piece.
One Piece. I believe he is a. I want to see either A or S, because he is very essential to One Piece. He is very likable. I want to
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. I don't think it matters if they're essential, because pretty much all the main characters are essential to their shows. So
I would say that.
I would.
There's some that I wouldn't say are essential.
That's fair, but I don't. Yeah, we'll put him in A. What do you think?
Well, yeah, sure, I'll take it.
Well, okay.
Subaru.
I think Subaru is S.
No.
He. Okay, why not? I'll let you do the. I'll prepare a counter argument for your why you don't think he's S.
He's a bitch.
Fair point, but I would argue that that's what makes ReZero so great. What other? He's not a. But you agree he's not a bitch because he's an annoying. He's an annoying, forgettable character that is just beats his way through every situation easily with no pain or suffering. The only reason people think he's annoying is because they're little children on Crunchyroll, and they're like, "Oh, I don't like how he doesn't have superpowers, and I don't like how he thinks he needs to take care of anything, and he sees himself as the main character. It's annoying." But that's Subaru. He's a very insecure person, but he's also just an average guy put in a very high-stakes situation, and his character development, it's not like he dies 1 or 2 times, and it just goes away. Like, he dies so many times throughout the series, and it's a 50-episode series, and towards the end, he's starting to change, but he still hasn't completely changed. He's still pretty insecure and not a perfect person, but he's doing his best, and he's still, like, I think he's likable. He's very relatable. His backstory is relatable, and I think at the end of the day, he's just a much more, like, in-depth character than, like, any other isekai I've seen.
Well, yeah, but that's a low bar, though.
As much as I agree with you, shouldn't that be all the more reason to put him higher? He's reaching
but I
for the
wouldn't
stars.
say S
Why not?
because he wanted a lot. Like he had, in order for like all that growth to even like start to happen, like in the halfway point, if anything, he had to get slapped back to reality by Ren for like a whole episode.
You're saying that that's a bad thing?
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that.
So we're not like, so are we not like as looking much as like how his character is written, and you just don't, you think he's kind of annoying sometimes, so you don't think he's a S?
No, he's written perfectly for his like series and what it's supposed to portray.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
I just think he's a little slow to it.
I
think they're
would
taking
settle
his
for A
own
tier. Then
rules
I
and
would
stuff.
settle for A tier if it's more of just like you don't like him as much, like
Yeah.
personally.
I feel like if he like sort of like caught on sooner, then I'd like him more.
I mean, that's fair,
But
also
he's still an isekai protagonist at the end of the day.
yeah. All right, I think Lelouch could be S tier, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's just based as frick, and this dude does not give a
He's
shit about
based.
your opinion. His entire goal is saving his sister, and that's all he fucking cares about. And he just imagine being like a 15-year-old taking over an entire country, like.
Bro,
That's
you
pretty
playing
based.
5D chess.
And he,
with
for
five
me,
checkers.
sorry, what?
You be playing 5D check.
Dude, this
chess
man is
while we're
actually
playing checkers.
he's really playing 5D chess out here. I feel like
Mhm.
Lelouch is light Yagami, but way more likable. I don't know why. He's just way more likable.
Right.
All right,
All right.
Satoru from Erased. I think this. Did you just say Subaru?
Oh my lord.
Excuse me, Mister. I'm awake. I would say
what's his name
I
again?
think Satoru. He's not like insanely deep or anything, but it's only a 12 episode series. I think he's A tier because, I mean, this dude
Yeah.
literally saved a child just because he wanted
Right.
to. Like he really didn't have to. Very likable protagonist. He really doesn't. Other than like the whole gag where like he says like dumb shit out loud and he's like, I said that out loud. He really doesn't do anything like stupid or not like agreeable, you know?
Yeah.
I think he's a very likable character. I think he's A tier. What do you think?
Yeah, I like him a lot.
All right. Have you seen Tonakawa?
I've seen some of it, and I did not like it that much.
That's fair. I think it's a pretty cute show, but I am not a huge fan of NASA, the protagonist.
That is fair.
He's like your smart guy, but I don't think he's that convincing, to be honest.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit generic, and like his reactions are always just like, "Oh, my wife's so cute, my wife's so kawaii," and that's fine. But I think Tsukasa's a much more interesting character. I don't dislike NASA, but I'd probably put him in C tier, to be honest.
That's fair.
Tsukasa, I'd say B tier. Has more of a personality, I think. And, you know, there's cute moments, and I think it's the real reason I'm putting her in B tier is because there's like a lot of theories out there that she's immortal because she kind of makes subtle references that it's like, oh, I haven't been here in years, even though she's like not that old, and like I could get into it, but I think she's a more interesting character. Jace, you alive over there?
Oh yeah, I'm alive.
Did you even listen to what I just said? That's fair.
Heck are you?
All right, Yuta from Love Shinibu. I think he's kind of a Chad, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I would say A tier.
Yeah, for sure.
I love.
I'm kind of surprised that he's there instead of the girl.
I mean, I kind of forgot about her. They both should be here. I just forgot about her.
That's fair.
Sorry.
That's true.
She'd probably be like B. I think
Yeah.
okay. I love Yuta's like main thing is like he kind of just like commentates on all the ridiculous shit that goes down. Like he's like, don't do this while I'm here. Like
No. Okay, here's my take on him.
yeah,
He also had Shiniga, right?
yeah,
Like he believed all this stuff, but then he kind of woke up to reality and was like, "Oh wait, hold on, this stuff is embarrassing." And like he's seeing all these like people like have Shiniga too. He's cringing, but he slowly gets sucked into the world. And the more and more he sees, the more and more he thinks, "Why not let people be people? There's no reason in changing them because this is what they love to do.
I mean, yeah, he does have a pretty.
So why?
Sorry, go
Because in
ahead.
the beginning, he does try to change them, and she does try to change it, but it didn't do any good because that's not who they really are. And I guess the whole message of season 1, in my opinion, is that you don't have to change yourself. If you
Oh,
like
yeah.
who you like, then why change?
He has like a pretty good character growth, and he's funny, and
Yeah.
he points a gun at that
He's-
annoying Dekamori girl, so I think he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think A or
I'd say
B.
I
A or B.
put him in S just for like the realization.
I don't think he's quite. I don't think he's quite S. I would say A.
Okay, Mr. Bunny Boy.
Sakuda, I think is his name.
Yeah.
He is kind of a Giga Chad. I will give him that.
Yeah.
He's kind of just like, I want
He's-
bunny girl.
Yeah. But he's too nonchalant about everything. Like, and then when he does seem passionate, I never really think he's actually being passionate.
Isn't that like kind of the point of his character though? He's just kind of like, yeah, I don't know what's going on.
No, he knows exactly what's going on. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he know. I like how he like intentionally goes against, like, you know how they talk about like an atmosphere. He like goes against it. I think that's pretty cool. I'd say he's like B tier.
Yeah,
Again, I don't know why I didn't put the bunny girl herself on here. I just forgot, but he is the MC. I don't think she's the MC because that show's basically a harem. It's basically a harem. So
Yeah.
I think he's a good MC.
Toro.
I think she's C or B.
Yeah, see.
C. I think she's C. She's kind of an asshole. I'll give her that.
Yeah.
But it is kind of nice to see her like eventually treat this guy Senpai, who I also think is C, better. And this guy Senpai, he kind of opens up as the series goes on and becomes cooler.
Right.
So I think they're likable. I like them, but I don't know if I'd say they're like great or anything. They're just like, they work. Maybe I would actually put them in B tier.
No, I'd say C still.
How come?
Personal bias.
Yeah, that's fair. Twitter profile pictures.
Mm. Alright, Yuji Itadori.
I'll let you take this one over because you're more, you care about this show a lot more than I do.
Yeah, I'm way more in depth in this one. I'd say A or S.
This is a combined tier list, so I don't think I can let you have S. Sorry.
Alright, I'll put him in.
Okay.
But like,
You like him?
how do I go in depth about him?
You don't have to go too in depth. Just why do you like him?
Alright. He is basically a shonen character. Shonen main character.
True.
That tried to be a main character. But grew up.
I mean, he did try to be the main character, right? Because like in the first episode, he's like, "I'm gonna save these guys from the monster
Yeah.
and eat the finger."
He's like, oh, I'll save everyone and all that. But then the more the story goes on, the more he realizes that sometimes that can't happen.
Yeah.
All he can do is just save as many as he can.
Yeah, and I do remember you talking about like how he's like a positive kind of like Naruto inspired protagonist done well.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
He was that, but then, what's his name? Forgot his name. I'm angry that I forgot his name. I forgot his name, but I remember
white-haired guy?
Mahito just clapping the dude, and then him showing him getting clapped, and then him getting pissed off about that. You remember that arc?
Yes. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And that was like the first time like he diverted from like being just like your average Naruto like inspired thing.
He's just like, I gotta beat the shit out of this guy now.
Yeah, because like
Yeah, I remember that.
he didn't come up with a way to save him. He couldn't save him. There's nothing he could do to save him, and all he could do was just retaliate.
Indeed. All right. Violet Evergarden
I
from
wish
Violet.
there was more to say about him. but I really can't do that because it's not animated, like the Shibuya arc, and I don't want to tell you about the Shibuya arc. I want you to know about it by like reading it or watching it.
Yeah,
because I
that's
believe
fair.
The Shibuya arc is very like needed in order to like fully express how I feel about Yuji.
All right, Violet Evergarden from Violet Evergarden. I think she, like we said earlier, she has an interesting backstory. She feels a little bit forced, but I don't think you can say she's a bad character. Say like C tier,
B.
C or B.
Yeah,
I think
C.
I think C. Yeah.
Alright.
Ichigo from Bleach. This one's for you.
Okay, this one's hard. Let me think. How do I feel about this character? Not me coming up the whole speech.
I see you over there. I mean, from what I saw, I thought he was a pretty cool shonen protagonist, but nothing super special. Like I'd say probably C or B for me.
Ooh. I have what I want to say about it on the tip of my tongue. It's just I can't think of anything because he's a really good character. He learns a lot, but it's a power fantasy. So pretty much everything's handed to him on a silver plate.
You want to just put
But
B
it's like-
then?
Yeah, we'll put him in B. Kazuma should be in the best tier.
Well, I can put him in S for you.
Yep.
When I watched Konosuba, I was just like, yeah, he's Kazuma. That's all there is to say about him. He's weird.
But he's the perfection of the art of a dickhead.
Yes, that is true. That is true. I personally, I'm just gonna put him in S because I don't feel like arguing with you, and also he's funny guy or whatever.
Yes, he's perfect. I love him.
Yes. So the girls from
Alright.
Girls Last Tour, I put them here because you honestly can't have one without the other, so I just have both of them. They play off each other so well. I think they're at least A tier because, I mean, without these two characters, you literally don't have Girls Last Tour.
Right, because they're the only two characters.
Yeah, they play off each other really well, and their deaths are just, they killed me for like a bit.
Right.
I think A tier is fair. I mean, I know you read the manga.
Yeah, I say too, sir.
Light Yagami. I'm gonna maybe controversial opinion. He pisses me off. Yeah, I thought he was annoying. He is very intelligent, but I would say C tier for him. Maybe even D tier.
Okay. I think you're not looking like more into what light is supposed to be.
He's not. I know he's not supposed to be like a good person or anything like that. He's just
No.
an idealist to the extreme. But like,
No.
this is just my feeling.
Thinking about that. Hold on, let me try to convince you why you should put him in at least A. Because he does a perfect job of what he's supposed to do. And I think when you're thinking of him, I think you're thinking too much of a protagonist.
Even though he's kind of like an anti-hero.
I wouldn't even say
I don't know if I'd go that far.
He's the villain.
Yeah, he's the MC, but he's the antagonist.
He's the villain of the story, but also the hero of the people.
I think
Hold on,
I like him, but he annoys me. Like, and again, this is a personal thing. I'd probably put him in B.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna convince you why you should put it in there. So basically, this is the perfect example of what would happen if someone got the power of God. Well, if they had like some twisted morals.
Ideals, yeah.
Yeah, so as you said, he is an idealist to the fullest. And the Death Note really got to his head. Like,
Oh yeah, I know
I
that.
think-
Like,
just because I think also you're not remembering a lot about like the first half. Because did you finish the first half of Death Note?
yeah, I
can't remember.
I finished the series except for the last like 7 episodes. I never saw the end. So I guess
Right.
I'm not like the most qualified.
But I'd say what he. Hold on.
Having
So
trouble there,
basically,
Chase, huh?
There's, I'd say, two Light Yagami in the story. That's Light Yagami with the Death Note and Light Yagami without the Death Note.
Yeah.
When he received the first one, he was nervous to use it, right? Like, he still had the concept of human lives and that they have weight to them. Each human life is like a human life. But the more and more he uses it, the more and more he thinks that humans don't matter. That he's the only one that should matter because he believes his existence is more moral than any other existence.
See,
And that's
I
where the God
agree, and
complex
I
comes in.
agree with all that, and I already know that. But
Yes.
he annoys me.
Well, yeah, because like you have morals.
Yeah, and I get that's the point of his character, but at the end of the day, he annoys me.
Yeah. But there's also the Light Yagami without the Death Note.
Yeah, and then he's just a bland dude who is still kind of messed up. You just can't see it.
He had the hope and aspirations of becoming a police officer. All of his intentions were good rooted.
I guess that's
Like he
true.
wanted to do things by the book, by the system. But the moment he got the ability to go past that system, is the more twisted he got with it. Because if you transcend the book or the system, then it's a ruleless plane where anything can go.
That's fair. I still think he's B tier though.
It's fine.
You sure? Because you make a good argument. We'll put him here for now.
Alright.
All right,
Call
Comey.
me.
I mean, she is canonically God, but
Yeah.
see, I mean,
Yeah,
there's no.
yeah,
Here's
yeah.
okay. You know what? I'll have him here, but we have to move Cosmo like here.
Hell no. I will gladly take Kira as the
Okay.
Cosmo Mustang ass.
As much as I get the. Okay. Comey is probably A tier for me.
Alright.
If she starts talking, then she'll have a character arc, and I know she's starting to, but once she really starts getting over her anxiety, I think she could even be S tier.
Right.
And Tadano,
Alright.
I think, is also A tier.
Yes.
This man's a
for
trap.
average.
Dude, you don't like Tadano?
No, that's his whole thing.
I mean, yeah, he is literally just like some guy. Like, that's the point of his character.
Alright. I think we can put the whole Kaguya cast in S.
I agree. They're just big brain. Likable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. S
Yeah,
tier.
and just how they like progress as the story goes on is great too.
I really liked where Shirogane stopped, like, trying to, like, get Kaguya to, like, you know, like, he kind of just started, like, you know, like, the chapters where it's, like, he was, like, looking for a confession.
Yeah,
and he just kind of stopped trying, and then, like,
actually trying to confess.
like, he was a lot more genuine about it, and then, like, that affected Kaguya more than when he was trying to do his mind games. I thought that was really cool, too.
Right. Like, he finally stopped the charades.
Yeah.
And is going after what he actually wants, because he realizes that they both want the same thing, so why are they trying to fight each other when they can just actually be what they want to be?
Yeah. All right, Mirai from Platinum End. That may be a controversial take, but I think Mirai is Light Yagami, but so much more bland and uninteresting and almost annoying.
Okay.
Because his whole thing is just he wants to please everyone, and that's fine. But he's not like a bad person. He's just, I don't remember why, but I just kind of felt myself annoyed at him throughout the series because he was just, like, he's not a terrible character. I wouldn't put him in like F or anything. I just think like Light at least had like a passion. I don't really know what. I guess I can't describe it very well. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get it.
I think he's like budget Light. Like I like Light more than, because even though Light annoys me more, like on the surface, I can look past that. And I think Light or Mirai is just kind of like, And also, he's always like he's kind of like that stereotypical like edgelord, and it was a you know what I'm saying. Like,
Right, I get you.
I'd say D tier.
Sure.
I'm not a huge fan of him. I think he's okay, I guess, but not my favorite.
If you don't mind, I will be taking the next 6.
We
I
can
will
both
solo
do
the
we can
next
both do it, but I think your opinion
But,
will have more weight here. All right, Jonathan.
Jonathan, C.
How come?
Because this is Araki finding his roots.
That's fair.
Like, he is like the goody two shoes with like he must save everyone, blah 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 blah, punch punch punch, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Coolio, you don't really have a personality outside of that. Next,
He's a gentleman, but you know.
next one.
Joseph. I think Joseph
People are
is
gonna hate me. People are gonna hate me for this. B.
B for Joseph. I thought he was like the most liked one.
For some people, but my favorite one is Josuke.
I think he's also B. Maybe A because he's kind of a troll, which is funny. But I think he's B. He's cool.
Yeah, he is basically an upgrade of Jonathan.
I do think it's cool though how he like ages throughout the series. Like he's the only one you really get to see like age.
Oh wait, hold on, I forgot about part 3, Joseph.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on,
I think
let me
A
get one
tier.
sec.
I think A tier.
Yeah, okay.
Let him be A tier.
Jotaro. I don't know how to feel about you.
I think he's B.
You are both the most amazing and like basic.
I think he's B. He's kind of like your juvenile, but he's cool. He's strong. I think he's cool, but I think nothing insane. But like, he doesn't really have any character growth either.
Yeah.
Well, actually, in later parts he does. I think that's why I would put him in B because in part 4 he's kind of matured a bit and it's cool.
Yeah, but he basically has the same personality.
Yeah, I think he's B.
And then in part 6, he still has the same personality, and he didn't age.
All right, Josuke deep throating a Subway sandwich. Where are we putting him?
S tier.
Yeah, I agree.
Holy shit, I love this man.
I like Josuke.
He's my favorite He's my favorite JoJo protagonist. I'm gonna go on around this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Basically, what I love about him so much is that even though he's the main JoJo, he is not the main. He shares the main character slot. He is your everyday, like average, like teen, other than being like 6'5" in a stand. But let's look past that real quick. He's just your average, likable guy that you just have a drink with. Like, you just be chilling with him.
He's a very
You have, like, a long
unconventional, like,
conversation, and he's,
shonen.
like,
Sorry.
basically your best friend.
Yeah, he's a very unconventional shonen protagonist.
Yeah. And, like,
He's just a nice guy.
Instagram, like, he's just Josuke.
Yeah, don't insult his hair and you'll get along.
Yeah, he'll beat the shit out of you if you, like, say anything about his hair.
All right,
Giorno,
Giovanna. I think Giorno's kind of boring, personally. I think he's one of the weaker ones. He's fine. It's cool that he's Dio's son, but, like, I don't know. Could shove
Yeah,
a
but
hot
in
dog
part
in
6
it.
he has, like, 4 brothers.
Yeah.
Well, you have your cursor on Kazuma.
Oh, that wasn't actually intentional. I wasn't even looking at the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Defensive over here. I see how it is.
I keep my Jesus.
It's
I
fine.
don't know what I'm saying. Giorno, B.
I would say C.
I wouldn't go that far.
All right, yeah, he's cool.
He's
I like
cool.
him.
But I'd say Jolene C.
How come? I haven't seen part 6, so.
Because that is as low as I'll let myself go with her.
Why don't you like her? Well, I mean, C's like decent still, so why do you think she's just okay?
She's basically tries to be Jotaro too much.
I mean, she is Jotaro's daughter.
Yeah, but like, it's annoying.
But you don't like really dislike her, you just think she's fine?
Yeah, she's okay.
That's fair.
Psyche K.
A or S.
A.
Dude's just funny.
A.
Yeah, his deadpan humor just works so well with like everyone else's extremely over-exaggerated personalities in the show.
Right.
I don't think he's S tier either, but because he's not like a super in-depth character as a comedy anime, but he's kind of funny. I sense a war coming in the next two.
Oh yeah.
Yuiga is the most okay character ever. He's fine. He's a nice guy. Don't dislike him. He gets all whoa horny whatever with the girls, but you know he's fine. But he's nothing interesting. Try to defend your way. What is even interesting about this guy? He's fine. He works for the show, but like
say your things about quintessential Quintellas.
Fuzuro is a much more stoic and interesting character. And he's kind of bait. I just like how he like kind of roasts everyone and he just doesn't give a shit. It's funny. If I was being me, I'd put him here, but I know you're not going to agree with that, so I'd put him in B.
No, that's okay. I'm okay with those.
Oh, okay. That is surprising me. I thought you'd disagree.
I'm more in why I liked We Never Learned was mostly about girls' development.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, the main character, I didn't dislike him. He's just like, he just doesn't really do much throughout this series.
I would say he does a lot. But, like,
he's a good person, for sure, but like...
himself enough for me to care about him, per se.
Wait, like, sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't hear you. What did you say?
He doesn't, like, do enough for himself to, like, make me care about him, per se. But he is really essential for pretty much every other plot development that happens.
Yeah, I don't dislike him. That's why he's in C. It's still cool to see too.
Like he is himself. Like himself is not like amazing. I'm way more interested in his interactions with the girls though, because he pushes them to be better, and then like they're more interesting, but he is the same.
Yeah, he doesn't really change throughout the series.
Yeah.
All right, Madoka from Madoka Magica.
She is a interesting case for me.
She's far from my favorite character in the show. I'll say that.
Right.
She's almost like she's the main character, but she doesn't like stand out that much, other than like the end where like she becomes like the god and everything.
No, I'd say the most interesting one is the time traveler.
Oh yeah, by far, yeah.
By far.
Hormura, was that her name?
Probably.
I think Madoka's cool. She's, like, it's kind of cool seeing how, like, her opinions of magical girls change over the series. She has character development. She becomes God at the end. I'd say, like, C or B. Probably C for me. Like, she's...
for becoming God.
Yeah, she's cool. All right, Rudius from Mushoku Tensei. I guess you haven't seen it, so I can take this one over. So, the average Twitter user would make a new tier below F and put him in it. Because... yes, he's kind of a creep, especially at the beginning. He's like, literally the first thing he does when he gets into his new world is, like, grope his mom, basically. And, yeah, sure, like, he does a lot of really questionable things that are hard to watch, but that's the point of his character. And, one thing I want to address real quick, I don't know if you're paying attention, but, a lot of people get mad that he's, like, mentally 40, but he's, like, hitting on these girls who are like 15 when he's like 13, but I don't think it's that big of a deal for two reasons. Because like, what do you want him to do? Do you want him to hit on 50-year-olds in a 13-year-old body? Is that less weird to you? And he's starting over from scratch. It's like he's a new person, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think the other stuff he does is weird, but I think he's a good character because of, first of all, other than being an actual like straight up pedophile at times, he's pretty likable actually. Like he improves a lot throughout the series. His backstory makes you feel really bad for him. He got kind of fucked over by some kids, and he's not my favorite, but I think his character growth makes him at least a B tier. He becomes a much better person by the end, and he's relatable honestly, other than being a creep.
More healthy.
All right. B tier. Kazuya.
Let's just put him in B and go on with it.
Kazuya's F tier.
Okay.
He's just like, what does this guy have in? He's like Rudius from Mushoku Tensei. I mean, maybe not quite as like, he doesn't do like I guess the stuff he does is a little bit less, but he doesn't have a good backstory that makes you feel bad for him. At least me, I felt bad for Rudius, and he doesn't have any character development. And also his decisions he makes just don't make any sense. Like Rudius is at least smart and makes sense decisions. Kazuyama just constantly does stuff that doesn't fit with his character like at all. And he jerks off to picture. Yeah, this guy has nothing going for him, in my opinion.
That's fair.
All right, I'll let you take the next one, but I think I already know what you're gonna say.
This one's a hard one, actually. Because, yeah, I give a lot of shit to Naruto. But he basically started a revolution.
I mean, as much as I think that's fair, what do you think of him as a character of the show?
B.
Huh?
B.
You like him?
Yeah, he's cool. He's just like, I don't like the show that much.
That's fair.
Even though it's my first show that I watched. And also I watched it until all of it.
Funny.
Yeah, it's just okay for me, but I understand the impact it has on the anime community and just anime in general. It just set a whole new bar. But it's it for me.
Alright, the next one I think is going to catch your interest.
S. Moving to S. He's my favorite.
Here's the one problem, though. If this is a cumulative tier list, I haven't seen Samurai Champloo.
Well...
I'll put it in here for you, though. I believe you.
Should I go in depth? Or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so basically, Mugen is one of three main characters, which is Fu, Jin, and him.
Uh-huh.
And each one of them are vastly different, but like Jin and Mugen are like the contrast the most. Basically, Jin is like uptight, technique, form, all that stuff is like all in his fighting style. But Mugen is wild and free. He does what he wants and doesn't let anyone give him shit for it. Because he'll just do what he wants. He's by force energy.
Fair enough.
He'll literally breakdance on your ass while he's beating you up.
Has he done that?
Yeah, no, his fighting style is literally breakdancing.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. And I don't know, I just really like him a lot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Shinji Ikari, off to sea.
Yeah, I think I don't dislike him, but he's not the most likable, so I get that's the point of his character, but can only do so much.
Right.
All right, Takagi, she's kind of your average like love interest. I'd say B tier. She's cool. Same thing with Nishikata.
Mm-hmm.
He's cool. He's kind of dumb, but like he's cool.
Yeah,
all right.
He's cool.
You had your chance with Mugen. Oriki from Hyoka is my favorite protagonist of all time.
Who?
His Oriki from Hyoka. I've talked to you a little bit about Hyoka. It's like a mystery anime, but like in a school, real slice of life setting.
I've actually never. I don't remember.
It was literally in the previous tier list that we did. Hyoka. It's a mystery anime.
Continue.
So, first of all, you wanted me to tell you what this guy's literal like motto is?
What?
If you don't have to do something, don't do it, and if you have to do something, make it quick.
Oh yeah, I remember.
S tier. How is that not S tier? And he's actually a very in-depth character. I don't really want to get into it because I'm tired, honestly, and I can barely think straight right now. But from what I remember, he just doesn't live a happy life. Like, he's kind of grumpy all the time, and he kind of just wants to be left alone. But because of his interactions with the other characters and, like, solving mysteries, which he's really good at, like, that's his kind of thing. He's, like, really good at figuring it out. He kind of opens up throughout the series. And, like, the series is literally about him. Like, it's a mystery-solving anime, but the main point of the series, at least in my opinion, is about him opening up. Because in the last episode, it's not like they finish a big mystery. In the last episode, he finally kind of walks off in the distance with like, you know, like a beautiful like sunset, and he's kind of like, you can tell he's kind of like opening up, if that makes sense. And he's also just really like based, like he just doesn't give a shit, like. So yeah, that's why I think he's S tier.
That's fair.
Nice. Saitama.
Alright.
We'll put Mob next to him. Saitama. He's a funny gag character.
B.
Yeah, I think B. Now, on the other hand, I think Mob is S.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. How can you not like Mob? He's such a well-written character.
He really is.
And, you know, like the 100 thing matching up with his emotions.
Yeah. He's just your average team.
Yeah. I have a feeling you're running out of steam there.
Yeah, I basically wasted my speeches.
Alright, well, we'll get through these and then call it.
Yep.
Alright, now Fumi from Shield Hero. I mean, he bought a slave.
B.
That's pretty... What?
B.
B? Yeah, I agree. He's cool.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Pretty based.
Rimuru.
I'm conflicted because on one hand, Rimuru is really likable. Like, it's hard not to like him. And he goes through a lot of, like, visual changes throughout the series, but his personality remains pretty stagnant. And he also deals with every problem in, like, 5 minutes. I think he's C tier. He's alright.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Alright, who's this dude?
Leon from Trapped in a Dating Sim.
Never want to see guy.
Okay, this guy, I promise you, if you watch, you will get Kazuma energy from this guy. He has to be right next to Kazuma. Like, just look at that face.
Alright.
Basically, I don't know how to describe him. He's just really funny. Like, he just, like, he's just kind of, like, is kind of an asshole, I guess, but, like, not in, like literally, I have a screenshot of, he has, like, a robot servant, and literally one of the, like, most common things the servant says to him is, like, you're kind of an asshole, aren't you? But he's, like, a nice guy, but, like, he's just really, he's basically Kazuma, but less horny, I guess, is the best way I can describe him.
Alright.
Is that fair? Kirito? It's literally Kirito.
You know where I want. Yep, no explanation.
Yeah, he just doesn't do anything. I mean, he's one of the better parts of Sword Art Online, so I guess we could put him in D, but he doesn't have a personality. I'm sorry.
Alright, off to D then.
Alright, Ryuji. Ryuji is basically the nicest guy you could ask for. Like, he basically does everything and never really complains and is a well-written character. Like, he's like that generic, like, nice guy trope with, like, Yuiga, but he's, like, so much better at it, in my opinion. Like, he fits the story, and I think he's A or S. I don't have a ton to say about him, but he's never unlikable.
A.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like Taiga, but I think she's also A. I think you can't really separate. You can't really separate these two.
I refuse to separate them.
Yeah, I mean, she's like.
Moose Psyche, Moose Psyche, one over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes. Who is the next dude?
Otanashi from Angel Beats. I love Angel Beats, but I don't really think Otanashi is anything that special. He's kind of like a generic protagonist.
Yep.
He's a nice guy, and his backstory is pretty cool, but other than that, I'd say he's like C tier, honestly. He's cool. I don't dislike him at all. Alright, I hope you can agree with me that Shoya is absolutely an S tier protagonist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bro.
This man, this is the protagonist I'm the most proud of.
Right.
I'm absolutely so proud of Shoya. He's so well written. Do you want to say something about him? You usually have good speeches about a silent voice. If not, that's fair.
Oh, I have to pull something out of my toes.
You have to pull something out of your toes?
Yep, I have to pull my sheep and grab my toes.
Respectable?
Alright, where do I start with this dude? He's the epitome point of forgiveness. Well, no.
I mean, yeah,
Maybe.
that's the story.
Yeah, but like he fits his story so well, and that is revolves around forgiveness and wanting to be better. Because at the start of it, he wanted to kill himself due to guilt of all like the things he's done.
Yeah,
But
which
he's
proves that
not-
he's a good person at heart because he does feel guilt for the, the not nice bullying that he did.
Right. So instead of wasting his life, he goes and pursues forgiveness.
Yeah.
Even though he has no right to ask for it, he still wants to make amends. Which I guess
In his
In
mind,
turn,
in his
be
mind,
like-
he has no. In his mind, he has no right to ask for it, even though that like Shoya is basically or Shoko's basically already forgiven him.
Huh? No, that's not what he thinks at all.
No, in his mind, no. He's like, I have no right to ask for forgiveness.
Yeah, but not because like Shoko forgave him. It's because like he thinks she would never forgive him.
Yeah, no, that's my point. Yeah, we're saying the same thing here.
Oh, okay. I
She
thought
thinks
you
he
were
would never forgive him in his mind, but in reality, she kind of, like, at first she's a little bit shocked to see him, but she she's not like, it's not like a grudge that she's held against him for years or anything like it is in his mind.
Right. And like as the story progresses, like he starts living life. Like
Can't say no to
he
that.
doesn't let himself bog down by all the like things that's happened.
In the manga,
Rather,
I think
he's trying to,
in the
live his life
yeah.
with
Sorry for interrupting.
this girl. He's trying to live his life with this girl that he's trying to mend with. Like at the start, he was like kind of pathetic.
I mean, and you can see he's trying too hard too, but like, I
Right.
think the real
Well,
reason
kinda
I
like
really
Shadow.
like Shoya personally.
Hold on.
Sorry, go ahead.
I want something. Like basically, at first, I would say that him trying to like make amends at the first time he was trying to do it was shallow.
I would agree. I would
He was
somewhat agree.
trying
Yeah.
to just make himself feel better by like, doing this. But the more and more he got to know her, the more and more they spent time with each other,
And he
the more
realized it
more
too.
he like pursued her, the more and more he realized that, oh shit, I like really,
Yeah. I'm not doing this for myself anymore.
I'm not doing this for myself. Like, I'm not doing this for forgiveness anymore. I'm doing this to be her friend.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this to be friends to like make her forgive me. I'm doing this because I want to be there for her. I want to be her friend. I want to be there for all of her moments.
Yeah, I
Because
mostly
she's
agree. I
genuinely a
mostly
good
agree.
person, and just because she's different, that she's deaf and all of that, she is a normal human being with normal feelings, just like me. And by dehumanizing her, by thinking, oh, she's deaf, she's different, all of that, was shallow of myself. And so, from there, he tries to make amends, not because of what he's done, but to show that what she is doing is not wrong. That she shouldn't be ashamed of herself because she's deaf. That's just how it is. And that just should stop her from doing things that she wants to do just because she's deaf.
Yeah.
She wants to hang out with her friends. And her friends shouldn't care if she's deaf because they're friends. And Shoyo really wants to show her that too, even though he was one of the ones that showed her that she couldn't. And now she's trying to make amends by showing her now that she can have friends even though she's deaf. Because her idea of friends is warped because all she's known is that she bogs people down because she's deaf, that she annoys people and all that.
Yeah, which
So
we
she-
see in the end.
So she counts people as friends for just talking to her. That's all she could. And Shoyo shows her that she can raise her standards, that just because people talk to you aren't friends. And that's what she learns from like the black girl that I keep forgetting the name of.
Yeah. I think the thing that really does like make me like Shoya, bro. I mean, I like him the whole time. He's relatable, like in all the stuff you said. I mostly agree with, but it's really that scene at the end where what's it called? Lit Ver, I think, is playing,
Oh yeah.
and he just all the X's fly off, and he just finally is kind of just no longer guilty, and he's just happy. I just love that scene. Is so great. It's one of my favorite scenes in anime, if not my favorite. And I think he's absolutely in his tier.
Let me get to that part real quick in my mind. So basically, he still is friends with Shoko after the amusement park incident. He's trying to like force it that everything's okay and all that she shouldn't worry because like now he truly cares about her and that he doesn't want her to think she's the one to blame because it's really no one's fault other than like the two girls that I hate. They're 100% instigators.
The
green-haired girl and the black-haired girl.
I mean, yeah. I thought you were trying to defend the black-haired girl. No, she's definitely.
I'm back and forth with her.
I don't like. I mean, I like her character, but I don't like her.
Yeah.
And then the other girl, which doesn't have green hair, but we won't get into that. Yeah, she's pretty bad too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think I ran out of speech fume.
All right, Arima from Your Lie in April. He's good. I like him. I think he's A tier, B tier, A or B.
B.
Yeah, he's very likable. His backstory is so sad, but like how he had felt the pressure from his mom and.
Yeah, but he gets 100% carried by Violin Girl.
I disagree, but that's fair.
Yeah.
Like his getting back into music, I think it's getting late, but he's really good. He's good. I would even say he's probably A tier, honestly. He's really well written.
Right. I'm down for A.
So the next one we might debate about Shinichi from Parasite. I like him for the most part. I mean, yeah, sure. At the beginning, he doesn't act like how a nerdy manga reader would be like, "Ooh, cool! I have powers now. I'm gonna do this." But like, at first, he sees them as like an alien. He sees Migi as a complete alienating creature, which maybe he doesn't act like in a friendly way, but it's all he doesn't know how to act. And as he progresses as the series goes on in a very natural way to make it work. And I think if he just treated Migi like how he does at the end, like the whole time, the payoff wouldn't be as good. It wouldn't be like as sad when he leaves, and you know how he still has a little bit of Migi in him, but like it wouldn't. It would just. I don't think it would be anywhere near as impactful.
Right.
I think you feel like him, kind of like how I feel about Light. Like you understand his point. He just annoys you.
No, I like him a lot.
Oh, I thought you were complaining before about how you don't like him.
Oh. No, I remember I like him.
Oh, okay.
I guess with like more looking back on it, like
you agree that
I realized
yeah,
that how he is good.
I think A or B.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'll take it.
A or B?
A.
Okay. All right. This guy Haruo.
Okay.
Dude, he's a gamer.
Okay, I'm summoning my second win.
You okay?
When I feel like, all right, I summoned my second win. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Haruo. Okay, I say A.
I think A tier. I like his progression throughout the series a lot.
Yeah.
How he like grows up with the game.
Realization that he like likes her, and also that he's not the best at what he does.
I mean, I think he knows
and
that.
Like his want to grow.
Yeah.
In competition with her is great.
I think like when he's younger, he's pretty close-minded, but like, he's 12 or 11. I don't know how old he is at first. So
Right.
it's fair.
And like
And he
growing
grows
is
up and
great.
matures throughout. And like he's never straight up mean to Ono, except maybe the first time they meet. And I
Right.
just think that like it's also kind of cool how we can just like understand Ono even though she never speaks a word. But yeah, I really like Haru. I think I just like his progress. I don't really have a lot to say about him other than he cracked the gaming, which was pretty epic, and I just like his progression
Right.
throughout the series.
Yeah.
Ono, A or S for me. Put her next to Haruo.
Yep. She deserves to be right next to him.
Yeah, just like these two. I just think it's funny that she never talks, but she still got. Like, I remember when you first told me about High Score Girl, and you're like, she never says a word. I was like, oh, this is going to be a boring character I don't care about. But no. Like, I don't know how they managed to make it work.
No, she is like one of the most likable characters without saying it.
Exactly. Dude, exactly.
I don't think she ever said a word through the.
She didn't. No, she literally never said a single word throughout the series.
Bro, her voice actor must have been making.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just going. Like just that.
Yeah.
Either she was really annoyed or just.
Her
How
facial
do you even,
expressions,
like,
though.
Hold on, this is totally irrelevant to to this, but how do you think they casted Ono's voice?
Professional ASMR person.
Exactly. Right?
Just like Comey. That's literally.
Because like, how do you even audition for that? Do you just like sound sample yourself a couple times and they just bring you into the studio once and then you're done?
I guess so. You probably don't get paid as much as like actual voice actors. Or I'm not saying they're not actual voice actors, but like for actual roles that have a lot of speaking. But I wouldn't know.
But like it's also used for like 3 seasons, so big bucks on that.
I wish High Score Girl had a 3rd season.
Oh yeah, it's only 2.
All right.
No, wait, hold on. There's a 3rd one coming up. I think that's the spinoff.
Is that actually being animated?
I hope so.
I think you're making that up. I mean, maybe it
Yeah,
is.
maybe.
I haven't heard an announcement about it. All right,
Yeah.
Fushi from To Your Eternity. I really like Fushi because he's very, very unique. He's an orb at the beginning with no emotions. Like, seriously, straight up none. Like, less than Kirito, which is somehow possible.
That's crazy.
And he just evolves because of the people around him. And, like, he could have very, very easily turned into a bad person, but because of who he's surrounded with, and because of, I think, some intuition from him as he grows, he becomes a good person, and it's just very interesting to see how he grows. And also, it's kind of cool because his, like, language develops. Like, he starts by barely being able to talk at all, and then he finally, like, over time, he learns English, or I guess I think I watched the dub, but he learns English/Japanese. So that, you know what I'm saying. He learns language, and it's just cool to see him grow. I think he's A tier. Very unique character.
That's fine.
All right. Akira Fudo from Devilman Crybaby. Interesting. I liked him. He's cool. I think he really shines in the second half of the story, personally.
Yeah.
When he was able to
don't
make
know.
Satan feel something. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's
pretty sick. Like I don't think a lot of characters on here can claim that.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, I think he's S tier.
Yeah. Alright, Odd Taxi Man. I don't know him.
He's cool. I like him. And the plot twist I keep bringing up, it involves him at the end.
Oh, sorry.
He just kind of doesn't give a fuck about anything anymore. And it's kind of cool how he's caught up in all of it. I think he's A tier. He's really likable. Like there's no reason not to like this guy.
Alright.
All right, and you know who else there's no reason not to like? Boji from Ranking of Kings.
Oh, he's definitely an ARS.
A or S. I mean, I think he would be an A tier if it wasn't for him beating his dad at the end of the series.
What?
Did you finish Ranking of Kings?
No.
Sorry. I never said anything. Hey, to be fair, you've had like 2 months. You started that a while ago. And you should have finished it because it's really good.
You're not wrong, but like,
Sorry, just forget I said anything. Basically, his growth throughout the series is really fun to watch. And he's just Boji. You can't not like Boji.
You really can't.
Alright, you know who else you can't like? Okay, this man, Senku. Literally counted for like 4,000 years. And did it accurately. How can you not put him in S tier just because of that?
That's fair.
And I don't know what it is about Senku. When I'm watching the anime or reading the manga, whenever he just like finishes like what he's talking about, I'm always just hyped. Like, I don't know what it is about this man.
Yeah.
Like when he's like, this is exhilarating, it's like, hell yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
I think he's S tier, maybe A tier. What do you think?
I think I'll agree with your ass. Like, he's pretty cool.
You do or don't agree?
I do.
Okay. Alright, the characters from Your Name, I just put them in the same one. I'd put them in C. Maybe B. They're cool, but the two characters from Your Name, I don't even know if you've seen Your Name.
I've never seen Your Name.
I don't even remember why I put them in here. You don't really get to know them super well. They're fairly generic, but they're also like, they're well written, so I feel kind of bad putting them in C, because they're like between C and B, because like, they're not as fully fleshed out, but they're good at what their purpose is. I guess I'll put them in B.
Yeah.
Alright, we have an interesting one here. Eren Yeager. He could be as low as D or as high as S, depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
What do you think? I don't think
he's a hard.
I don't think he's S personally.
Yeah, I'm fine with putting him in A.
He's
just a real interesting character to like judge.
Yeah, because he's kind of the villain in a way.
Yeah. And if you like look back throughout the whole thing, you realize that Eren was always supposed to be the villain.
Yeah, for real. Like, he was kind of being...
Like, he basically had a Kira mentality throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because if you, like, look at it, he never wants to, like, save humanity. He just wants to, like, kill the Titans.
He just wants to avenge his mom, basically. But, like...
Yeah, but...
At some point, you even, like... It gets to a point where you even wonder if that's the point anymore. Like, when he sees the Titan that kills his mom, and he just continues to kill Titans after that. It's not about settling the score. He just wants to kill Titans.
Hold on. I feel like my speech mentality is coming back. Give me a second. So, basically, it's not that he sees the point in that. It's more like he realizes that it's not a fight against Titans anymore. He realizes there's other humans in the back, like, behind them. And the more and more he realizes that there's a whole other human race out there, the more he realizes why.
Yes.
And once he finds that answer of why, he realizes that there's no bad guy in the war. There's only a winner and a loser.
I know you're taking this from somewhere. I forgot where you told me you got this from.
I got it from a 3-hour Attack on Titan video.
Of course you did. Fair enough.
No, but like, this is also just me looking back on it a lot too. Like, he realizes that the people who are fighting against also have goals and aspirations too. That they are actual people. It's not just mindless Titans that they can just slay, and just like dehumanize them. They have to come to terms that they're killing people now. Whether they be soldiers or innocent bystanders. What really makes them per se the villain or the Hitler, I don't care what you say about him, is that he still dehumanizes them.
Indeed. Especially shown in the Rublin, like...
Yeah.
How many people died during
as long as it's someone that
he doesn't know. He gets rid of them. He only thinks about what's best for them, even though if it's like still humans.
All right,
So
Legoshi from Beastars.
he's a B.
I think he's B or A. He's cool. He's a good character. I think
Yeah.
it is kind of interesting that he's sort of like the suspect of the murder for a while. Even though I think the viewer knows it's not him, but like it's still an interesting dynamic.
I know, but what a twist it would be if he was.
That would be pretty crazy, but I don't think it'd fit with his character at all. Like, you know, the whole
It
point
wouldn't.
is that he's like not a bad guy, even though he's a carnivore or whatever.
Right.
All right, Takamichi from Tokyo Revengers. I think he was okay. He
What
was
a crybaby.
I mean, I don't dislike him. You know, he clearly has his
I
goals,
know, but like
but he's not like
Mikey-
he's the opposite of like.
Mikey and Draken were like way more interesting.
Oh yeah, I would say C tier.
All right,
He was
and
fine.
Hana Michi.
Yeah,
S.
I expected that.
Yep.
Just realistic basketball player that keeps at his goal.
Yep. I already went in depth about Slam Dunk. I don't need to do anymore.
That's fair. All
I
right,
ran
so
out of speech fuel.
if we have to agree on a best, who would it be? You want to just make the easy way out so we can go to bed and do show ya?
Yep.
Let's go. That's why I love Silent Boys. We can just say it's the best. All right. I like this tier list.
And yeah. Coolio.
All right.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Well, I ran out of real raw energy, so I'm a D.
Well, we're still doing the podcast, so we gotta end the podcast.
I know.
So,
I'm telling them I'm sleeping. So, love you, bunchies. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Come back later, please.
Yeah, we'll do another podcast at some point.
I
Yeah.
want my speeches to mean something. I want my speeches to mean something.
I listen to
Yeah,
them. They
me
mean
too.
something.
Yeah. And, like, if you listen to my speeches and, like them, and it means something to you, that's a good thing for me, because I like it.
Even though he just steals them from some YouTube video.
I repurpose it.